Alright, what's going on? It's Rob here from 99 Ways Crypto. Welcome back to the channel. As you're probably aware, the crypto market has actually taken a bit of a deep dive lately and has been eating shit. So if you're anything like me and you're looking for a new crypto project that will help you continue to grow your crypto bag, even in a down market. If your crypto portfolio looks more like this, well, hopefully by the end of this video, you should have enough information that could have your bag looking more like this. Then this video is more than likely going to be perfect for you. Many algo coin projects or seigniorage programs have miserably failed during this down market. Now, let's take the time now to have a look at some of the volumes and TVLs and peg positions to prove that point. All right, so we've just quickly jumped over to WTF Fork website. I'll leave a link below. And we can have a quick look at all the tomb forks here that are currently eating shit. So let's quickly just check out the BSC network and have a look at we'll look at some of the protocols there. So have a look at this. Inner rep, bomb, under peg, eating shit. Dibs, under peg, eating shit. This one completely gone altogether. Let's have a look under Phantom, and you'll see here, look, Miniverse, it's being obliterated. Rare Finance, look at these pegs, nowhere near peg. DGen is a little bit closer to peg. These things are eating absolute shit right now in this down market. Okay, we've got one here that's above peg, just, okay. But basically you'll see all in the red, look, nearly all of these are basically under peg, okay? And the TVLs are bleeding out. Now, let's check under ETH. EMP Money. Oh, look at this. In the green, baby. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Right, let's quickly just go back and check out Bomb Finance. Let's go to the website. Jumping over here to Bomb Finance website. Let's have a quick look at this. Okay, we'll go over to the home page, which I think it's already gone to. Now let's quickly look at the TVL. Look at that. Dismal. A dismal amount of money. People have just pulled all their cash out of this protocol. Let's quickly just jump over to the EMP protocol and see how it's tracking in this dismal market. First thing we want to do is quickly jump over and check out the TVL. Okay. Okay, here it comes. There you go. 45 mil. Crazy. So everybody else is just hemorrhaging, and EMP on the way up, baby. All right. Now, just a little bit more on the total TVL. So what I do is I actually keep a little bit of tracking data on the EMP protocol. So I think this is a good idea for anybody to do, really, is to track and check, is to keep track of the volumes coming in and out. Right, so some of the criteria that I check is the TVL overall. So anyway, I highly recommend you do this yourself, but as you can see, the overall TVL 1 month ago at 33, you can see the change here. A lot of volume came in around this time, and then basically, I think it was called Bill Gates coined it the Mother's Day Massacre. That happened, and a lot of, as you can see here, a lot of TVL disappeared. But look at the stability after that. After it all settled down, check out EMP's overall stability. Back into the 30s, okay, 35, 38, 40, 42, and then basically been tracking around the same TVL. So it's showing some real absolute bullish strength. I guess the question is why do you think that EMP has been so sustainable over this time period in a down market when all the other algo projects have just plummeted down? So leave a comment. Tell me why you think that EMP is so sustainable compared to the others. I'll give you 5 reasons why I think it's been so sustainable. You can agree or disagree, up to you. The first thing I think is that so many layers on EMP that you can earn passive income. That's the very first thing. Why I think this has been able to be very sustainable. I won't go off through them all, but from the detonator through to the boardroom, through to the farms, all of these different ways that you can, the staking contract of ETH, all these different ways you can earn passive income. That's why it keeps bringing more TVL into the system. The detonator alone could be a standalone contract. It's magnificently layered over the top of this amazing platform. Second thing is the detonator. It's a standalone contract on its own. It's got so much going on for it, and there's constantly, there's constant volume going into it, which can't be pulled back out unless you. The only thing you can do is compound and come claim the rewards. You can't actually pull out your liquidity pool, which means that people can't dump. They can't actually dump on this protocol. That's so powerful. The third thing is the community, right? The community that's been built on the back of some very experienced people and some very clever thinking in and around how you would build a community that's so positive and so helpful. That's so amazing to make this protocol such a sustainable product. The fourth thing I think, what makes this so sustainable is the trust that's been developed. The trust in the development and the team that sits behind EMP. You will not get the transparency of the EMP project in anything else. If you know another project that is just as transparent as EMP Money, comment below. Tell me. I'd love to know about it. But I cannot find anything that it has a team that is so transparent and so openly communicating and helping its users to understand its protocol. The fifth thing is the well thought out education stream through the academy. That is amazing. And not only that, but also especially the education that happens through the daily AMAs. So if you have an opportunity to go to the daily AMAs, you will learn more about the strategy from the daily AMAs than you'd think. It's all about, maybe some of it's repetition, but it's all about locking in the best way for yourself and the best things for the protocol to keep it healthy. It's amazing. Okay, so there you have it. There's 5 things that I personally think have made EMP sustainable in this such a down market. So all that information I just gave you, what does that really tell us? It tells me that whatever these developers get involved in, it's super well thought out and it's very well executed. Something very important to the success of any protocol. I believe that the team leave no stone unturned. They've demonstrated that they're very transparent, even in down times, even when they've been faced with a multitude of FUD. They didn't bury their head in the sand. They faced issues head on. I think that's something you really want to see in a team. And to be honest, most of the followers they've built in this community would follow them off a cliff like lemmings. No, seriously, don't follow them off a cliff. Not a good idea. Don't follow anyone off a cliff. Not a good idea. So if you go to their AMAs, you'll hear testimonials from contributing people saying this is the first DeFi project that they've been in and has worked for them. So if you're like me and you have experienced a rug, maybe a couple of rugs, I think I've had quite a few rugs now, and you're sick of developers running with your money, then EMP should be definitely considered, as well as their new project. That's what I'm getting to, right? Okay, so the team has created an entirely new protocol which will sit on the Pulse chain network when it is launched. It will be the first algorithmic protocol on Pulse, and it will follow the price of Pulse at a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, here's the kicker, right? The economics, the coding behind this is still the same as EMP. It's giving the investor the exposure to another underlying asset. Boom. Currently, there's no white paper, but it should be out by the end of this week, which will give us more content and more understanding of this new sister project. So let's just quickly jump over to the new website, and here it is. So the new protocol is called Impulse, which will be the first fork of EMP. Now, as most of us probably know, EMP was a fork of Tomb, has taken on its own coding since then, and is pretty much its own standalone process. No one has the coding to the detonator, so that is definitely unique to EMP, but this is the first fork. Impulse is going to be almost exactly the same setup as EMP Money, but rather being exposed to ETH, it will be pegged to the token Pulse. The main token of Impulse is IMP, like EMP. So the share token is called iShare, and guess what? They will be doubling the emission rate from that of eShare, which is currently 1 year. So iShare emissions will be over 2 years. I guess that's a learning taken from the EMP protocol. The share token will most likely be paired with Pulse X. So you have the Pulse token, which is known as PLS, and you have the Pulse X token, which is known as PLSX. So we'll still have farms, and they'll be just with different underlying assets. And it will still have a boardroom, which will, instead of printing EMP, it's going to print IMP. So it's exactly the same mechanics as the EMP platform. Boom. Who wouldn't want that, right? We know how successful EMP has been to date, so why wouldn't we want a sister project? How does this benefit us as current EMP holders? Well, they're going to create a Genesis round of EMP, which will be conducted by the EMP Treasury. And all of those who are holding EMP are essentially the Genesis whales of IMP. So that really means that the EMP Treasury will be the largest holder of IMP. Also, EMP VIPs will get an early access opportunity before the protocol goes live. Now, the Genesis pool from the Treasury will have a stabilizing effect on the protocol, which will reduce the risk of mass dumping from the outset, from the launch. It also means that as a result of it, the EMP Treasury controlling to some degree the price action early at launch, that gives the opportunities for the APRs to remain higher for longer periods. It also means that the iShare token should also, in theory, be able to retain a higher value for a longer period of time. So from having the Treasury more in control, and it's the EMP Treasury, it will reduce the amount of people being able to buy into the product really cheap prior to launch and then completely dumping it as it goes up. So that's fantastic news. So how does the Genesis pool work? So usually there's a small window of investors that put up collateral that you would reward them with IMP, and that is going to be the first minting of the IMP token through that Genesis process. Other bullish news of Impulse is that the team are looking to launch their very own bridge that will belong to Impulse, which will help bridge tokens over to the Pulse chain. And I assume this means bridging predominantly from BSC to Pulse chain. That's because obviously EMP sits on the BSC network. But I'm pretty sure, my understanding is that they also will be building the bridge to be able to cater for ETH and other tokens. So, remembering this, that the infrastructure is already built, and as I alluded to before, that the community that sits behind EMP will be right behind this sister project. Given the level of trust that has been built through the EMP money, that's what makes this look as though that it will be very successful from the outset. Additionally, this new protocol will expand its user base away from the BSC chain, so that's massively bullish as well. I hate that using the word bullish. So the devs plan to release Impulse about 2 to 3 weeks after the launch of Pulse chain itself, giving them time to iron out any issues, and I think that's a really good risk-averse strategy for sure. Now it's very important to start your own research on this project, but more importantly, in and around understanding what Pulse Chain is, who Richard Hart is, in order to see if this project is going to be right for you and if you're going to be willing to invest your hard-earned into this protocol. The team also have definitely do not recommend that you liquidate your position in EMP. So if you have fresh capital, then that's going to be the best and the most effective way of securing your overall crypto bag and doubling. So taking if you're already involved in EMP, you'll have that bag, and then hopefully you'll also have another bag over here of impulse. Okay, so for those who are interested in the daily AMAs, the team has a plan which will have an alternating schedule. So there's still going to be a daily AMA for EMP. So, but AJ will attend EMP one day, and then on the following day he would potentially attend an Impulse AMP. Another question was raised during one of the AMAs, which was a fantastic question, which was in relation to the detonator. So basically, the Impulse will have the equivalent of a detonator with a different name. So the time clock on the detonator and the time clock on the Impulse version of the detonator will be an hour's difference. It'll either be an hour before or an hour after. And that gives everybody the opportunity, if you're in both protocols, to ensure that you're able to compound before the timer runs out. It's a fantastic play. So that's right, more opportunity to win that lotto. And of course, there'll be less users on Impulse to begin with, so your chances will be higher. Now, one thing, Lunas, who is one of the Select Six, mentioned around about security. So now that Impulse hasn't launched, there's probably going to be a lot of potential scams, misleading information around Pulse, trying to lead you down the wrong track for IMP. So please ensure you stay on your toes and only follow links from the authentic sites in order to protect yourself. These can be found from the EMP socials under the official links. You'll see over here, you'll see the socials for Impulse which have been launched. Okay, so it's a soft launch and the socials are here, so you get the correct links from here and nowhere else, just to protect yourself from a security standpoint. Always use the official links. As I pointed out, the social sites of IMP have been launched and will be a great way to stay up to date with the launch date, etc. Now, I'm personally excited and I will be investing in Impulse Money purely based on my experience and trust in the EMP protocol team and the successful building of that well-versed community that will follow this project when it launches. I'm also really bullish on this project because it's going to be using the same concepts and amazing code. And just as important, the economic structure that sits behind EMP will also be mirrored here in Impulse. So I'm confident that Impulse Money will be a successful project. We all know that EMP has thus far been a great success, and I can only imagine this will be better as the team have learnt more of what works and what doesn't work with EMP. So they've got that whole platform now to build upon from the get-go, from the launch date. So that's why I feel really confident that this is going to be a real winner, and I'm looking forward to the launch of this. Anyway, when the white paper comes out and there's more information to be had, I'll be happy to go through it and share it with you guys. If you want me to continue doing these videos, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you want to hear more about Impulse or EMP, all those types of projects, yeah, please subscribe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate anyone who watches my videos and comments. That's it from me. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Rob out.